Stop showing off how good your American accent is.
Hey, Dale.
Wait, not Sarah.
Hey, Dale.
Nor is that.
Hey, Dale.
Sarah, what the hell's going on? There are too many people.
Oh, sorry. I invited Behind the Bots onto the Shuntcast.
What is this, a crossover episode?
Yes. Hey, Behind the Bots! Welcome to the
Hi.
Shuntcast crossover.
Hi,
Oh, we
Sarah.
are so excited. Oh, this is the best.
How are you guys doing? How is quarantine, I should say?
Swimmingly.
This is our first time not recording together. So I'm recording in my house. Chris and Lindsay are recording in their house. Kyle is recording hundreds of miles away. And I guess we're talking to you through the power of the internet. Like, that's incredible. That's really cool.
I'm glad that I'm quarantined in the era of the internet, I have to admit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For anyone listening to this in the future, this was recorded during the coronavirus outbreak. So if anybody cares about the Shuntcast in the future, and for some weird reason you're listening to this, so this is during the 2020 coronavirus outbreak, in which we got told to isolate, and most of the human race didn't, because they're stupid. Because they are absolutely stupid. We at BattleBots, though, we're heeding the advice to stay the fuck at home, right? And so we're doing this lovely podcast for you from the comfort of quarantine. So, right, you guys are in the interview chair now. Haha. The roles are reversed. So I'm going to go with the obvious question. I run a podcast. I know the work that goes into it. Why the hell did you decide to make a podcast?
Oh gosh, Chris and Lindsay, do you think we should kind of go through our origin story? It was like a year ago, right? I mean,
yeah. So it's just over a year ago. I would say, like we Lindsay and I work at IBM, and they were building a new podcast studio there, so we wanted to take advantage of it. But even before they built that, I would say that the three of us, Luke, Lindsay, and myself, would kick around ideas for a podcast. You know, everything from I don't know, powdered cheese to Legos, and then eventually when I had the opportunity to share my love of BattleBots with Luke and Lindsay during the new seasons, they very quickly really fell in love with the sport, and we really got into it all together, and we loved talking about it after the episodes, and it was kind of born out of that mutual interest.
Although powdered cheese isn't off the table yet.
Yeah, that's going to be
podcast.
Yes,
too.
and because we live in the corona, the world of corona right now, and we live in a digital age, we were able to secure 10 pounds of powdered cheese to be delivered to us so that we can really, tide the storm with homemade Easy Mac.
Unbelievable. Just
Oh, dear.
That was sharp.
You monster. You monster.
look, tread carefully, okay? Tread carefully.
You cheddar beliefs you'll get worse.
Oh. You're not going to get any fatter than this.
Gouda.
It's my cheese. It's not your cheese. It's my cheese.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So like for me, like I only caught the last 2 episodes of the 2018 season, and I just got totally hooked. I had seen BattleBots before as a kid, but just like very casually, like a lot of people. And Chris and Lindsay kept insisting, let's watch it. Like they were watching it every single week. They'd been watching it for years. And so I caught like the finale of 2018 and just was obsessed. So in the off season between 2018 and 2019, we did a bunch of research, and I like was really on board with the idea of doing a podcast when I looked up the captain of Bronco, Xander Rose, and saw that he was the executive director of the Long Now Foundation. And I'd been like so interested in the Long Now Foundation ever since I read about it. Like they're building this this clock that's going to exist in the desert for like the next 10,000 years, and it's like part art piece and part mechanical challenge. And like when I saw that he was also a BattleBots builder, I like was convinced, you know, when we talk to the builders, their stories are going to be so much more interesting than what you can see on TV. And like doing these long form interviews with really, really, really interesting people who are passionate about something just was like coolest experience, like for the last year, you know, being able to talk to builders. It's been like a really, really amazing treat.
I just remember like Fight by Fight when I would watch before the podcast, I would look up the builders online and be like, okay, there's not really like much of a BattleBot specific presence for them online. So I'll just look at their Twitter or like oddly look at their Facebook profile and see what I can learn about them. And that made me feel kind of creepy, but somehow it's a little more validated when you do it publicly through a podcast. So
You Facebook stalked me, Lindsay.
I might have, you know.
And then of course we found our Winston to our Ghostbusters in Kyle. You know, as we started this podcast randomly in Poughkeepsie, New York, lo and behold, we find out that there is a super fan who is also a mod in the community who, sure as shit, lives in Poughkeepsie, New York. And then that's how we stumbled across Kyle.
Yeah, and it was great. So Luke had to go on a long vacation to Alaska to fight moose and get eaten by mosquitoes. And they asked me if I wanted to guest host on the show, just kind of take the Luke role of doing the... Luke does a lot of the heavy journalism work for us. So they asked me if I would jump into that because they knew I was pretty well sourced within the community and had a lot of interesting factoids and information, and I was super happy to jump in. Wrote a couple of scripts, worked with everybody to put those together just to kind of fit into their format. And then, what was it, like 3 weeks after that or 4 weeks after that, you guys were like, "Hey, do you want to just like be on the podcast?"
Yeah, it was about that time,
and which was
hate
awesome.
You.
No,
That's
of course
lovely.
not.
It's the
and
best
then,
decision
by
that we
that
ever
time, my
made.
family moved to Philadelphia, so I was no longer with them. So that we had to kind of figure out how to do that remotely, which is now turned into excellent, I guess, advanced practice for this time of social isolation.
Yeah.
God bless quarantine. Right, we're going to move on to a behind the bots special on the Shuntcast. We're going to do bot news.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you guys are the sensible podcast with all your sensible news reports and event calendars and builder stories and all your terribly helpful things that the Shuntcast is not. But there is Shunt posting news. You know, stuff goes on in our little community. So we thought it would be fitting for you guys to do the news for us. So we've got some headlines. We're going to give them to you, and you're going to elaborate on those stories for us. We obviously let you guys know. For those listening, we did let them know about these stories. These are really important stories that the community needs to hear about. They're so important, and all the listeners at home are like, oh God, what is it? Help! It's the Shuntcast. The first headline in Shunt posting news is that Al Kindle has announced that hammers are in fact fantastic and everyone should build them. Luke has more on this story. Over to you, Luke.
Thanks, Sarah. Yes, hammers are in fact fantastic. This is a reversal in philosophy for Mr. Kindle, who had previously insisted they were terrible and nobody should build them. Blacksmith ended the 2019 season with a 5-9 record, partly because of Al's decision to run a hammer. Back to you in the studio, Sarah and Dale.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Luke. That was extremely interesting. Shunt posting is indeed very grateful for this important information. Dale, what's up next?
It's now over to Chris for sponsorship news.
Hi there, this is Chris reporting semi-live on the street. And we have some exciting news today out of Camp Hypershock. So Will Bales and Team Hypershock are the proud recipients of the very first ever major brand sponsorship. KY, the world's leading personal lubricant brand, cut a check for $75,000 to Team Hypershock. I have a quote from team captain Will Bales, who said, "With the help of KY, I'm happy to announce that the team will be able to take on even more partners. It's an exciting opportunity that has left me feeling warm inside. I hope that this will open the back door to even more sponsorships with the sport and allow them to penetrate as deeply as possible into combat robotics worldwide. Back to you in the studio."
Why on earth would you make any of us follow him? That's terrible.
Oh.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes,
that was
yes.
That's some
that
slippery reporting.
Yes,
that's
indeed.
Oh, we're gonna need some lube in my cylinder. Oh my goodness. So yes, sorry. We're technical difficulties there on the Shuntcast. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to terribly serious news. And up next, we have the news that Copperhead teammate and popular YouTube builder Robert Cowan has announced that he is converting to removable links. Lindsay has more on this story.
In recent news, Copperhead builder Robert Cowan has made a shocking decision that has sent tremors through the entire bot community. As a prominent, staunch defender of switches, Robert has made the controversial announcement that this bot will now exclusively use removable links. In a prepared statement released on Facebook, Cowan says, "It's a bitter pill to swallow, but it's time to finally admit the truth. I was wrong. Links are far better than switches. Sure, links may fall out from time to time, but who needs reliability in a bot anyway? All future bots I'm involved with now will use links. To properly honor the British for their links technology, I will now only drink tea instead of coffee. I will begin driving on the left side of the road, and most importantly, Copperhead's name will officially be changed to Blackadder." That's a lot to take in. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Lindsay. I think I better move on quickly to Dale, who has our next story.
Yes, I believe we have to go over to Kyle with news about John Reed.
Yes, I'm sad to report that John Reed has been spotted running around Oxford naked whilst lathered in hand sanitizer. Reports seem to indicate that he's causing terror on the streets, and the spectacle hurts to look at. Apparently, he is a killer athlete, as everyone is chasing him is hurting to get within 2-meter distance, well within the social distance separation we were all required to live under right now. He is especially good at at evading police as they attempt to beta the man for indecent exposure. But since he is covered in slippery hand sanitizer, they are unable to catch him. I guess they will just have to wait for a good hit in this situation.
Here's hoping they bring the hammer down on him.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Yes. Well, thank you for joining us for Bot News, ladies and gentlebots, and thank you to our team of expert reporters. I have to say, the Hypershock one though.
That was too much.
That was my ribs. My goodness. Right, we're going to move on to a little Shunt posting staple, a good old-fashioned game of beat defeat judges. Woo! Yay! Try and sound excited. It's not like I'm weird or anything.
Normally we have our soundboard, so we just have to improvise now.
We're going to give you one each. So for anyone at home who doesn't know what this game is, it's called Beat Defeat Judges, and it's basically like Snog, Marry, Avoid, but with robots. We give our guest a robot, and then they go up against 3 more robots, one of which they beat, one of which defeats them, and one of which it goes to the judges. Kyle, you're up first, and we're going to go into Bugglebots for you. Your robot is Mini Spinny, and you are up against Maximum Ogre Drive, Big Wedge Energy, and Splody Boy.
Oh man. All right. Well, I would like to beat Maximum Ogre Drive.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to go into Judge's decision against Splody Boy because I love Rira and I don't want to incur her wrath. And then that leaves us with. Wait, I'm sorry. What was the third option there?
Big Wedge Energy.
Oh, Big Wedge Energy
from Series 1.
Yeah, from Series 1, Gus's robot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what's gonna have to happen. I'm gonna have to lose to that Big Wedge Energy.
Why do you want to beat Maximum Overdrive? It's very well driven.
It's very well driven. It's a really fun robot to watch drive, but I would like to beat them because tiny Sawbots are not incredibly effective unless you stick the entire weapon motor on the saw.
Oh, okay. All right, Lindsay's up next. Dale's got your robot.
Yes. Your robot is Scorpios,
All
and
right.
your 3 robots are Lucky, Witch Doctor, and Sawblaze.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna have to lose. I'm gonna have to lose to Sawblaze because at heart I am a Sawbay. So Sawblaze over everything. Okay, so then that's out of the way. I am going to let's see. I'm gonna call it. I think Scorpios will beat Witch Doctor in the next season.
Whoa.
Yeah, controversial take, but you know what? I'm gonna go with it, and then that means judge's decision for Lucky because I think I'll get flipped a few times. I'll land a few hammer saws. No one will know what to make of it. So, yeah.
I'd like to know the reasoning behind beating Witch Doctor.
Because I think that anything can happen. I don't know. I think the randomness of the universe will weigh in on my side on that one.
Cosmic energy, Sarah.
Yeah, big cosmic energy.
It's that, or she's got a sneaky plan up her sleeve to distract Mike Galately. Like, Mike, over here, look.
But I'm gonna
look, I hit Witch
hat
Doctor.
off and use the laser eyes from the skeleton bird on top of his hat and try and blind him while he's driving.
Or use voodoo against him. His own
Wow.
voodoo against himself.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wouldn't they be immune against it?
Oh, maybe.
I'm probably getting
Yeah.
too involved in this. We'll move on. So there we go. Luke, you're up next. You have Valkyrie as your robot, and you're up against Death Roll, Red Devil, and Warhawk.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
All right. Let's see. Valkyrie, legendary undercutter. I would say I would beat Red Devil. I think that Red Devil's treads are particularly delicious for Valkyrie's undercutter.
I'll get Rara's opinion on this, but I'm
Is
sure she'll
Rara
agree.
also eating treads as well, or is it just?
Yeah, I thought she
wheels?
was strictly wheels.
I don't know. She's a brave girl. She'd give it a go, I reckon.
Yeah, let's see. Who would defeat Valkyrie? I'm going to say Death Roll, just the Australians with that huge disc, and going into
It's not a
judges-
disc.
This is a disc. This is not.
This is a disc.
And to judges, I'd have to say Warhawk. Yeah, I think that they're pretty evenly matched. I could see both of them going the full 3 minutes.
Awesome. I must admit, out of those, I'd probably choose losing to Death Roll as well.
Yeah.
It's such a good bot. I'm like really excited to see it next season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Death Roll is one of my top 5. My fave 5.
We still don't know when season 5 is happening. F.
Yeah.
F. I'm sorry, but back to the game.
Yes. Chris, your robot is Orion, and you're against Bronco, Hydra, and Sub-Zero.
Ooh.
Flipper Frenzy.
Yes.
Well, I guess I would fuck, then marry, then kill Hydra.
I don't think you quite understood the idea.
That's not how that goes.
I have problems with games.
Clearly.
Evidently.
I would beat Bronco. I would probably go to judges with Sub-Zero, because one of our good friends at IBM is actually a new owner of Sub-Zero, Logan, who is a very, very nice gentleman. and then I would probably, I would of course be defeated by Hydra, which has just some great lift.
Hydra doesn't forget lift day. Oh dear. Oh, we have a twist on this game, but it's for podcast, and it's called Delete Takeover Congratulate, and it's for all of you. So it's behind the bots, and it either deletes, takes over, or congratulates another robot themed podcast. You don't have to take this too seriously. So if we say we're going to delete you, don't be offended, because we don't care. So there we go. Discuss.
Ooh. All right. How honest do we want to be?
I got this. I would fuck, then marry, then kill the Shuntcast.
No.
I've got a suggestion for the delete one.
Okay, I'm just confused again. I got it though. All right.
I have a suggestion for the delete one, if anybody would like it.
Yeah, go for it.
Patrick Robery. Does this one need explaining to anybody?
I think so. Yes. I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm surprised at you, Kyle.
Yeah, me too. What's going on? I'm normally
quite
in on
sure
the joke.
you know who that is. Okay, so he does like these videos on YouTube where he talks about robots and events and stuff, and basically slags them off. And you'd listen to it if it was even slightly funny, but it's not.
I do know who you're talking about.
So he referred to Bob and I, as in, the Bugglebots presenters, as boring and flat. It was like, okay.
Well, that's just what he's wrong. So he's
that's just incorrect. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, he was at RoboNerd, which I was at. And I took great delight in being absolutely lovely to him. I ran up to him, gave him a hug, and said, "Oh, it's my biggest fan!" And he's subsequently trolled me and other robot people who I love. So I've decided that he can be deleted. Failing that, I'm going to start a fight with Rara and say that we should delete ESC.
What?
No. Love you, Rara.
No. All right, so I have a suggestion for takeover.
Okay.
Just because we haven't gotten new episodes of this podcast in a long time, I think we should take over the Bot Kids podcast and bring it back, because I love the Bot Kids. They were awesome.
God.
Yeah, so bringing it back to some wholesome content there, I would love to see the Bot Kids come back, and I will take over that podcast to bring it back.
The Bot Kids was the first BioBots podcast I ever listened to.
Kaden and Ethan are way better podcasters than we are, so we could run production for their show. I absolutely would love that. I would say congratulate this week in Robot Combat. I'm as a news nerd, I love that show. I think it's so great. I would also say Breaking Bots. We're big fans of Brian and Cam, and got to hang out with them in Florida for a bit, and that was really great. Let's see, I have opinions about which podcasts I would delete, but I don't know. I feel bad about saying them.
Yeah, we're the wholesome podcast. We probably shouldn't say it.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, just go with Patrick Robery, and we'll all be happy.
There perfect.
Yeah, get out of here.
He's heard from the internet forever, as far as I'm concerned now.
There you go. You're blacklisted. Oh, there we go. So we'll move on to something more wholesome. The Shunt Posting Awards.
Yay!
Right now, so we normally review an episode and we give out the awards based on that episode, but there's no episodes. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it the Behind the Bots all-time favorite Shunt Posting Awards. So first up, of course, is the John Reed Good Hit of the Night Award. So what would be the Behind the Bots all-time favorite good hit?
Ooh.
All right, so I have
Nelly.
Ooh, that is a good one.
I mean, I approve, and I'm happy to take this award. I don't get many.
All right, so I have a suggestion, and that's Tombstone High Centering Minotaur. first episode of the 2018 season.
Ooh,
Now, here's why. When that episode aired, it was crazy that the champ was in the main event for the very first episode of the new season. And in a lot of people's mind, the best bit to actually beat Tombstone back then was Minotaur. And so it was basically like watching, Luke Skywalker coming back in Return of the Jedi and immediately getting decapitated by Darth Vader. It was just like, oh, you all had hopes and dreams for this season. Well, they're gone now. Tombstone is still the evil boss that no one will defeat. And I will never forget that feeling watching that episode. I will never forget how crazy it was watching Minotaur get high-centered on a piece of the floor that Tombstone had peeled up from the ground.
You planned that all along.
That was just, I love that hit.
I can't disagree with you on that one. Has anybody else got any other suggestions?
I liked from this most recent season, I think a classic will remain when, back to Sawblaze, I guess, when it cut Son of Voyachi in half. Like, we didn't even know that was possible.
Ooh, that was nice.
Yeah, and I was like cheering at the television like a crazy person when that happened. So, yeah, that's my vote.
The one that made me do that was Kronos versus Copperhead, because you weren't expecting it, I think.
Yeah,
that was quite a
pow! I was out of my seat for that one. But sorry, back to your good hit. Anyone else?
One of my big moments, I would say, was when Death Roll actually escaped the box and mangled about 30 to 40 different people in the audience.
You like
it? It was pretty impressive.
It was. And I'm just going to nod and agree at this point. Okay, so now you have to fight over which one of them gets your good hit award. Is it Tombstone? Is it Death Roll? Or is it Sawblaze?
Or Nelly versus Deep Six.
I have to tell you, for guilt purposes, that my son is listening outside my door and I'm hearing him going, Sawblaze, Sawblaze, Sawblaze.
Oh, your son's the best.
I mean, Sawblaze was pretty iconic. Like,
yeah, it was pretty. He retired a champion. I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to go with that one.
Yeah, Sawblaze. Yeah.
Jameson,
all right. Congratulations, Sawblaze, which I said extra loud so the child could hear. He said, "Yay!" Well, there we go. So on to the Salt-Powered Robot Award. Which robot are you most which moment should I say are you most salty about? Doesn't have to be a judge's decision, just anything that made you salty, basically.
Kyle, do you have
something?
Oh yeah, I've got something prepared. So what makes me salty? All of the hate Chomp gets online. It is a mechanical and engineering marvel, and it deserves all of the praise. And by the way, as I always type after anybody berates Chomp online, only bot to beat Bite Force.
Right.
Just say, I'm salty that people are salty about Chomp.
I am.
Also, hi to Angry Steve.
Oh yeah, hi Angry Steve.
Hi Angry Steve.
And his Chomp. Chomp getting all the salt that it does is definitely very worthy of a Salt-Powered Robot Award. I'd like to propose Al Kindle, just because he loses so many judges' decisions, and it makes me a little bit salty. I mean, that Grumpy Owl picture, right? I mean, if a picture spoke 1,000 words, all of them are swear words.
I've got one other suggestion as well.
Oh, go on.
These coronavirus.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
What kind of
I
bot is
agree
that?
with you, but I don't want to give it the attention.
No, good point.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, does anybody else from behind the bots have any suggestions for the Salt-Powered Robot Award?
It's a cliche now, but I'm going to go to bat for Gruff and Tombstone. I think that Sam McCann was robbed, and the police should come and investigate, because
And
was a
I still think you're wrong, Luke. Just saying. Just saying.
Luke went on this tirade, we had to literally shock him.
Yeah, it was like a 2-hour episode. They had to cut down to like an hour and 15. It was bad.
Okay, well, on that basis, I think we should give it to Chump. Or Chump hate, I should say.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds pretty unanimous to me. So congratulations, Chomp haters. You
Chomp.
dickhead
Yeah.
win the Salt Power Robot Award for Behind the Bot. You win the Behind the Bot Salt Power Robot Award. Okay, so that leaves us with the Shunty McShuntpost Award, which goes to the most memeable, or the most funny, the most comedic. What made you laugh the most?
Can I throw mine out there real quick, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for Shunt Post's birthday this year, everyone who had ever had anything associated to do with Robot Wars Shunt posting at any time in their past on Facebook got to witness the visual treat of Bob's butt.
Oh, God.
And in my mind, that definitely deserves the Shunty McShuntpost Award. I don't know if it's even been talked about on this podcast yet, but the fact that all of us had to be subjected to Bob's butt for an entire day, it deserves some sort of recognition, and I think a Shunty McShuntpost Award is appropriate for that.
I think an acid for my eyes award is due for that.
I feel like we should wipe it with all the toilet paper. Hold it up.
I got a message from Chris at like 10 o'clock this morning. It was like, why is this man's butt continually appearing on my Facebook feed?
You think that's bad? The amount of Roboteers I have messaging me within an hour of him posting that, saying, "Why is this guy's butt in my news feed?" as if I somehow was responsible for Bob posting his own butt. It's the one time we allowed nudity on the group because it was Bob. It was just, oh God. We'll let it stay for 24 hours and then we're deleting it because we don't want the group to get zucked, right?
Do you know why that almost broke the internet? It's because it had a big crack in it.
Oh,
Oh dear, we'll wipe that one out.
oh dear. Lindsay, what would you like to offer up as your Shunty McShuntpost?
So I don't know if this counts, but I think my favorite moment, a series of moments, was a shunt posting special, the Most Handsome Boy competition, because I thought following that every week or so was really funny. All the comments were great, and I liked seeing who was winning. So,
Aww.
yeah,
I'm heartbroken that I didn't make the roster.
I mean, you're not on BattleBots.
Oh,
That's why.
Not on BattleBots yet.
I mean, that's true, but and if he is on BattleBots, then maybe he will make the Most Handsome Boy competition. I had people get annoyed with me for that. Did you know that?
Really?
I had salty people get offended over me doing that, and they tried to justify it by saying that I was objectifying people. And I was like, Al Kindle and Fuzzy are included.
It's doing very, very well.
Yeah.
Like,
Al Kindle made it pretty far, didn't he?
he won. He lost out to Will. He got defeated by Will, of course.
Yeah, that's a tough one to win.
But I think it was like I think he got 2 rounds in.
To be fair, I could get lost in Al Kindle's eyes for days.
So could I.
Yeah, and his frown
terrible.
smile is magical. I mean, let's all admit that.
All right. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to offer up for the Shunty McShuntpost Award?
I would say, speaking of handsome boys, Will Bale's slow dance. There's nothing more romantic than a slow dance with Will Bales.
Oh yeah, Will Bills and Kurt at Robot Ruckus. That was romantic.
That was it was sickening. I was not jealous of Kurt. That's not getting the Shunty McShuntpost Award. Okay, so it's between the Most Handsome Boy and Bob's butt.
Where's Bob's butt?
I gotta go with Bob's butt.
I'm gonna go with Bob's butt.
Bob's butt was iconic, I guess.
It's iconic.
If you want to call it that.
Oh dear. Well, congratulations, Bob. Your butt gets the Behind the Butts Shunt Posting Award.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh dear, I went there. I'm going to move on to a game I've invented called Bot or Not. And this
Oh, I
is
love this
another
game.
one where I totally didn't pre-warn you about this because we're totally not scripted. The premise of Bot or Not is that we find some robots and we find some non-robots, and the other team has to guess if they're robots or not. So Shunt Posting will go against Behind the Bots first. We have 7 robots for you, and you have to guess which ones are bots or not. Your first one is, Of Course I Still Love You.
I'm gonna go with not. What do you guys think?
My gut was not.
Not.
Yeah.
I'm afraid you're incorrect.
No.
Oh.
I'll tell you how. Of Course I Still Love You is what the name of Zero Gravitas was before it went on Bugglebots.
Oh.
Wow.
He renamed it to Zero Gravitas to give it a shorter name for Bugglebots at Series 1. There you go. Hey, your next one is ready. You're going to like this one. It's called The Surprising Adventures of Sir Digby Chicken Caesar.
That's got to be a real bot.
I'm gonna go with no.
Wait, say it one more time.
The Surprising Adventures of Sir Digby Chicken Caesar.
No, but I love it.
Definitely real.
I'm getting conflicting answers from your team.
Francis.
All right, I've been outvoted.
Hold on. Is it a crispy chicken or is it a grilled chicken?
I don't know. It says Chicken Caesar, so I know what flavor it is.
It's probably grilled.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's too long of a name to fit on any fight, like any card or title.
Smee has 22 E's. That's all I'm saying.
That's still longer than 22 letters.
Yeah. Luke, if you're committed to it, we'll come aboard.
I'm committed.
Okay.
All right, we're aboard.
So you're saying it is a robot. It's a
It's
bot.
a real robot.
You are correct. It is an Antweight by Alex Shakespeare from Team Nuts.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
And by the way, you obviously don't know the Antweight scene in the UK, Lindsay, which is absolutely fine. Why would you? But these kinds of long bot names are very common in the UK Antweight scene. Which for people listening, of course, know that UK Antweights are US fairy weights. Because it could be difficult. So there you go. Next up, it is the John Reed Experience.
That has to be a real bot.
That's a real robot. It's got it.
That's a real bot.
Okay. Yeah.
You think it's a real bot?
Yeah.
I'm afraid you're wrong.
No.
Well, that should be a real bot.
There is a robot called the Tim Rackers Experience by Tom Brewster, which is an Antweight. I changed it to the John Reed Experience to make it wrong, and I'm sorry you took the bait. I'm sorry.
We did. We took the bait right out.
Okay, so as it stands, you are 2-1. Right, here we go. The next one is Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
That's real.
It's got to be a real bot.
It's got to be real. Yeah, that's a real bot.
You are correct. There we go. Your next one is Harry Buckle.
No way. No one would name their bot that.
You're going with not.
Ooh.
Is it Harry or Harry?
Harry. As in Dirty Harry.
Right. Or Harry Potter.
Yes.
I see.
Harry Buckle. I'm envisioning like a robot that's covered in fur.
They like those over there.
I'm envisioning a robot that's just covered in belt buckles.
That could work.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'll say no.
You're saying not. You're
It
correct.
does
It's
work.
not a robot.
All right.
I did it, guys.
There is one of Gus's Antweights is called Barry Chuckle, named after a British children's TV presenter. I changed it to Harry Buckle to fool you. Okay, next one is Fool in capital letters.
Wait, with an exclamation point or no?
Without.
Just
if it's
fool.
not a bot name, I'm taking it for my butyl.
I like it.
I like it as a bot name. I don't think it's real.
Don't think it's
I think it's real.
Not.
I think it's real.
I think it's real. Yeah.
All right, I'll go with you guys.
Final answer? Okay, final answer is you think it is a bot. I'm afraid you are wrong.
No!
I will tell you why. Mool, Mool, is Mini Obwalden Overlord by Orion Beach. I changed it to fool you. Also, it would work if he made a featherweight. It would work if he made a featherweight because Mool is for Mini Obwalden Overlord. So he made a featherweight. He could call it fool. Get it?
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Ryan. Take notes. Okay, your last one is Ivanhoe.
That has to be a real robot.
Gotta be real.
Yeah, it sounds pretty real.
It is real. It is from the original run of Robot Wars.
Oh yeah.
So you guys got four correct.
That's pretty good.
Ooh,
we got some humdingers for you guys. I hope you guys are ready.
Okay, we're ready.
All right. So we also have 7 robots for you guys. Please let us know which of these are real and which of these are not. The first one that we're going to give you is Kingfisher 9000.
Ooh. I think I've seen that on Combat Robotics.
It does ring a bell. Whether it's 9,000. That's a bit.
Yeah.
That's
They could have employed the same sneaky tactics I did.
Yeah.
I did not know about your sneaky tactics, so that's not what I did.
I mean, he could be saying that as a bluff. Do you want bot or not? My gut says bot.
Yeah, I say yes, bot.
Okay, we say bot.
It is actually an episode title for Rugrats.
Oh,
yeah!
Thank you, Lindsay, for that one. That was a phenomenal one, and we got a point out of it. That's great.
Anytime.
All right, so the next one is Evil Fish Tank.
Evil Fish Tank. That sounds like something Charles Guan would make.
It does, doesn't it?
In a weird way, yes.
In Miku Blue.
It's the evil part.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go with not. What do you think?
I can believe a fish tank, but not the evil one.
Yeah, we're going to go with not. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, not.
Evil Fish Tank is most notable for losing terribly to Tentamushi in the 2000 season of BattleBots in the middleweight division. She captured it, slammed it against the wall 3 or 4 times, and then they proceeded to just dance around the box for the rest of the 3-minute fight. It was a terrible fight, and she only won it because she got aggressive once. So, real bot.
Ooh, there we go. Did not know that.
All right, next one. This one should be easy for you guys. Are you ready?
Okay.
Black Ice.
Ice.
Black Ice.
Wait, why is it easy for them?
Well,
I'll explain after they tell me what their answer is.
Well, it could be sneaky tactics and be not blacksmith.
Or not ice wave.
Or not ice wave, yeah.
I feel like it is one. I'm going to say it is.
Oh,
dear.
go on then. I'll go with you.
I'll go with you.
Well, my gut was wrong last time, so we'll try yours this time.
Oh, fair enough.
All right, we'll go with bot.
You think it's a bot? It is a bot. Black Ice did it.
Yay!
2016 season. It fought Blacksmith and did not fight, or it fought Tombstone and did not fight again after that because Tombstone destroyed it too badly. Built by NASA engineers. That's fun.
Wow.
All right, so you guys are doing quite well, but let's move along. Let's go with Clomp.
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 Clomp. Okay. Well, my instant reaction is not, because this is a play on of chomp. But
I'm the other way around. I think it is, but it probably isn't.
Yeah, I know. I think it is. I feel like it screams grapple bot to me.
It screams too American to even be bothered to be a real thing.
It really does. Do you want to go with bot then?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah.
All right, we'll go with bot.
All right, Clomp is a 30-pound sportsman class robot that fights in the northeasterly part of the United States. It's actually part of a Pennsylvania 4-H club. The robot is essentially a capture bot made out of a feed bucket. It's awesome.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's the kids that put it together and drive it are phenomenal. We actually got to watch this thing fight at Franklin Institute this year, and the fans there love it. The team's great. I mean, they're really gung-ho.
Yeah, I think that's where I saw
kids.
it. I think I saw some footage of that.
Yeah, it's a fantastic bot. All right, so the next one is monkey business, and then in parentheses, banana for scale.
I think there's one called like Risky Business or no, Serious Business was on Bugglebots. Hang on.
Yeah, let's actually be serious for once and then work this out.
What was the name again?
Monkey business, and then in parentheses, banana for scale.
Banana. See, the banana for scale makes me think bot, but then I think you've been sneaky.
Yeah, it feels like it's 95%, but changed a little bit, like you did with one or two of the others.
Yeah.
Um,
My gut says not, because the banana for scale is there. Oh, could he be double bluffing though? I'm taking this far too seriously. Okay, so my gut says no.
I'll go with you on this one.
Okay, we're saying not.
It is not a bot. You're
Goodness.
All right, so the next one is, are you guys ready for this?
Okay.
Sex robot.
Yes, and it belongs to Charles Guan, doesn't it?
So we're going with bot?
Bot.
Not.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
You know what? I nearly said not because I'm pretty sure that no EO would allow that name as a bot.
Oh, no, believe it or not, when I went to search to make sure this wasn't a real bot, there are very similarly named bots out in the world, but the actual name sex robot
I bet
is
you
not.
had to delete your Google history after that one.
I never delete my Google history.
Came up as he started typing it.
Blackmailers, take note.
All right, are you guys ready for the last one?
Uh-huh.
Force cut.
What?
Force cut.
Force cut. As in FORCE.
Correct.
Well, now I'm gonna say I want to say no because that's obviously a play on Bite Force, but this could be a sneaky. Dale, what do you think?
I'm thinking. Force cut. I'm trying to think even if it's like a pun in some way as well, because I don't know why, but my mind always goes to puns for some reason.
I can't think why.
Force cut. It doesn't ring any bells as a robot, but
No, it doesn't. But my gut says bot.
my gut says, "Feed me, I'm hungry." I don't know. I'll go with bot.
Okay, we go with bot.
Force cut is the imaginary robot that changes its weight class every time my 5-year-old son talks about it.
So technically,
I mean, that's technically a robot.
It's not a real one. It's just one in my 5-year-old's mind.
But it is one, though. That's the thing. I'll let you off.
What's our score?
All right, so let's see. You guys got one.
I make
you guys
it 3
got
out of
3
7.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, that means we lose, Dale.
Yeah, no, I work out numbers quite good.
Nay, and other commiseratory noises.
That's true, but we're in charge of recording and editing this, so we can actually make it look like we won.
But we don't like to do what arrogant Americans do, so shots fired, shots fired.
So an arrogant American.
So congratulations behind the bots, you win bot or not. Woo!
Yay!
And we move on to the members / Roboteer questions, because I totally got hold of some Roboteers to ask you guys some stuff. All right. So, well, you guys normally interview Roboteers, so we thought it was only right that the Roboteers interviewed you for a change. So,
Absolutely.
Here we go. Al Kindle would like to know, do you believe the conspiracy theory that Blacksmith's absence from season 5 caused the world to collapse?
Is that really a conspiracy theory? Because I thought that was just, a well-established factual information at this point.
Well, he left out the part about the Dark Wizard.
Oh. What's the part about the Dark Wizard?
There was a Dark Wizard there.
Okay. I did not notice this.
Yeah, I just thought it was fact. I did not realize it was an actual conspiracy.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say
sorry.
there's definitely two facts that we know, right? 2020 so far has sucked, and
Right.
the one thing that's different between 2019 and 2020 is that Blacksmith is not competing. So work it out, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
QAnon, all right?
Hashtag facts.
I'm not going to argue with you.
That makes sense. Yes.
So, yeah, Al Kindle just has to bring it back, and then the world can go back to normal, right? Is that how it works?
And defeat the Dark Wizard once and for all.
True. Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying coronavirus isn't going away until 2021? Is that right?
No,
Yeah.
just terrible 2020 isn't going away until 2021. Just remember, there's lots of horrible things that have happened in
terrible
2020 that
2021.
weren't the coronavirus.
Can I just go to bed now and wake up in
In
2021?
2021, when all of our eyes start bleeding spiders, we're going to be like, man, 2020 was easy street.
Dale has your next question.
Yes, I do. Yes. Will Bales would like to know, what's your favourite question to ask Roboteers, and rewind that. And what do you think he smelled like?
Well, I mean, this is unfair because I have smelled Will Bales myself, so.
Oh, lucky.
Oh, do tell us.
Yeah. Well, he was working in the pits at Robot Ruckus, and I'm a very sneaky person, so I came up behind him and just smelled as much Will Bales as I could.
Got a good whiff.
Yeah.
And you guys think I'm weird.
Yeah.
I'm saying nothing because everybody listening knows I have a stash of Will in a Mankini memes, so I'm gonna take the fifth.
So to me, Will Bales smelled like new puppies and hope.
Wow. And as far as the questions we always ask, I think almost every time we interview somebody new, the very first question that Luke likes to ask is, how did you get involved in this sport? What was your first memories in the sport? We really like to get into what brought people into this crazy little community and subculture, and what brought them into the insane idea of spending all of your time and money and other people's time and money on robots.
This is very true. This one's for Kyle specifically, and it's from Zach Lytle from Scorpios. He wants to know, how is the invasion of the Zacks going?
Oh my goodness, how does he know about that?
I mean, well, his name is Zach Lytle.
That's true. Oh man, I didn't tell him about that. Listen, I honestly can't talk about it right now.
Okay.
No, seriously, I'm in the middle of a deep undercover operation for the Council of Kyles, and I certainly can't answer that question for a Zach.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll move on then.
Tim Rackers would like to know, what do you guys think of the British builders, and do the Brits live up to any American stereotypes of us?
I'm not easily offended. I'll throw that out there.
Kyle, take it away.
Yeah.
Do you guys live up to the stereotypes? Well, I don't know. This is an interesting question coming from a guy who's pushed the BattleBots button with a freaking kettle of tea. So no, I'm not sure that if you guys fit any of the stereotypes at all. I will say I am firmly of the belief that the British flipper supremacy is greatly overrated and will be proven
Ooh.
wrong when and if we finally get to have a season 5. In fact, I'm Hydra counting on it. Hail Hydra.
Oh my goodness me. This is sheer rudeness. Hal Rucker asks, what is the origin of Poor Keepsy? What does IBM do there? What do you do there? And does IBM know you're broadcasting out of their facility?
All right. Well, sometimes we accidentally broadcast out to all of IBM radio. It's way too easy to do that. There's just a single button inside of the studio, and tens of thousands of people are listening to the show.
Oops.
But Poughkeepsie, let's see, dating back to, I think it was the Bronze Age, was a small riverside community that I think there was a what do you call it? There was a thriving fish eggs market there. Like what do you call it on crackers?
Caviar.
Yeah, you had sturgeon caviar, but the name Poughkeepsie itself means hope, I think.
Okay.
And puppies.
And puppies. And Will
Well,
Bell.
I have an embarrassing thing to say, right? Because Hal spelt it how it should be spelt, right? And I had to message him and say, is it pronounced pow or puff? Because of the stupid way that English spell things. And then felt even sillier when he replied saying it was actually paw. I'm sorry for my Britishness, okay?
It's a very weird word. But I guess more to Hal's question. So IBM there specializes in the mainframe, which is a very essential piece of technology that many people don't think about or don't know about or think is like an outdated joke, like, oh, I'm going to hack into the mainframe. But really, the mainframe helps process every single credit card transaction that the world does millions and millions of times a second, like every airline booking, every piece of like secure data essentially passes through a mainframe that we work on at IBM.
Fair enough.
And we're designers there.
Yep.
I thought IBM stood for Internet Bales Mankinis.
Of course you did.
That's a subset.
Remember, it's not IBM, it's WeBM.
Okay. It says IBM on my script.
But they're a team, Sarah. That's, I think, what the point was. They work as a team. WeBM. Probably, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, WeBM together.
It's like the Board Collective over there. It's very scary.
We bow movement. Anyway. Next question. Greg Monkston asks, what is a suitable punishment for Sarah breaking her promise not to mention next week on the last Shuntcast?
I'm going to answer it this way. Greg Munson just needs to stop being so sensitive and deal with the fact that he's going to hear next week jokes for the rest of his life.
I like that answer. That means I don't get a punishment. Wicked. And you guys all got the presents I gave you earlier, right? So you totally agree with Kyle here.
We agree.
Well, I've got an idea for a punishment, actually.
Oh, no.
Since it won earlier, everyone has to send Sarah Bob's butt.
Oh, no.
All right, get out those screenshots.
Oh, no. Oh, no. So we're going to move on to the member questions. First up, will Chris be my baby daddy? I don't know who sent this in. This was not from me. That's just what the form says.
Did you say Chris B or Crispy?
Will Chris be my baby daddy?
Today?
It just says, will Chris be my baby daddy?
Well, the answer is yes, obviously.
What? All right.
I believe in family togetherness, and you know what? There's people out there in need.
I have a problem. I've got a problem here.
Got several by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Dale, quickly, get in with the next question before this
Yes.
gets creepy.
Well, it's not going to help much. This next one. What colour would your Wilsona mankini be?
Wait, what, mankini?
If you had a mankini, what color would it be? Well, if it was clear, you wouldn't get tan lines.
Oh.
So I'd go
You'd
with
also
that.
be arrested. But
Depends on
They
the beach,
can't arrest
Sarah.
you
Depends on
twice
the
in the
beach.
same day for the same crime.
That's not true.
You need a different lawyer.
okay, so we're going to move on to question 3. What is an acceptable replacement for toilet roll in these trying times?
Ooh.
I'm going to defer to Luke.
Ooh. Well, I've got a serious answer. I'd have to think about a joke answer, but I don't know. I'm a bidet apologist. Like I've been bideting for 5 or 6 years now. You know.
Yeah, as far as Luke is concerned, there's the age before bidets and then the age of enlightenment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy B-Day to you.
We're just over here taking things one bidet at a time.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Ooh. Except
Just let that sink in.
Good clean fun.
It's a wash.
Oh dear.
You guys are driving me round the U-bend.
Oh God.
Next question. In the event of an apocalypse, which robot do you want and who's driving it?
Ooh, that's a great question.
That's a good question.
Thanks, I asked it myself.
Oh, nice.
I want to be protected by Tombstone.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, chopping the ankles off of literally anybody coming after you, you'd want Tombstone. But who would you want driving it?
Doom Kid.
Doom Kid. Yeah, okay, valid.
That's fitting. That is so fitting. I literally can't argue with that answer. So, question 5. Everybody's saying wash your hands while singing happy birthday, but I don't like that song. What do you recommend instead?
Wow.
Have you got a Shreemet? Of course we have.
I would say
Sarah, I know exactly
Bohemian
the one.
Rhapsody would probably, you'd really make sure that you're pretty sterile.
You'd wear your hands down to the bone.
You would. I've no more fucks to give.
Oh yes.
Yeah, maybe
Farouk. My fucks have runneth dry. I try to go fuck shopping, but there's no fucks left to buy.
Boy,
Sorry,
are we
carry
in
on.
that place right now.
Right. Oh goodness me. I've rallied my fuck army, but it's been fucking defeated. Oh, dear me. Oh dear. Okay, so not Bohemian Rhapsody then. We'll go with no more fucks to give. That's the most shunt postiest answer, of course. So I completely approve. Dale has a modmin question for you.
I do. Good old Rera asks, what's your dream BattleBot team? Pick one driver, one weapons operator, one designer, and one wildcard.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Team of all Alkindos, like the Alkindo Menudo.
Let's see. Driver-wise, I think we got to stick with Tyler on that one. Can we go ahead and put Doom Kid in the driver's seat?
Okay.
Can Tim Rackers be our wild card?
Definitely.
Oh,
absolutely.
For riots. Do it for riots.
As far as builder fabricator, just because we've had wonderful conversations with her, I'm going to throw Jen Herkenroder on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as far as designers go, man, there's so many to throw out. But just because I've been gawking at their social media postings lately, I mean, can we just say the entire Zoe Stevenson Chomp team?
This is
I can't argue with that.
that's a badass team.
That
It's
would
a
be
badass
pretty
team.
badass.
Me and my small
Okay.
army of Al Kindles will show you all.
Okay, onto a very sensible question. If you did a toilet themed podcast, would it be called Behind the Butts or Behind the Bottoms?
Ooh.
Behind the bidet, obviously.
Oh,
Behind the butts, but butts with a Z at the end.
Yeah, I think behind the butts on the whole sounds better.
to be fair, bottoms doesn't sound good in an American accent. It's got to be done British, really.
Yeah.
Just like motherfucker can't be done as well in British. It's got much more conviction in an American accent. But bottom doesn't carry the same humour in an American accent than it does in a British.
That's true.
I think.
Butt is just a funny word.
Oh, can you do me a favour? There's another one like this, right? Wanker. Sounds great in a British accent. One of you say it for me.
Wanker.
You see how painful that is?
Yup.
Oh dear.
And bollocks.
I feel like I
Bollocks
should be on a list just saying that, like wanker.
Yeah, but similarly, listen to how this sounds. I'm bollocksed. I'm bollocksed, I tell you.
Al Kindle couldn't say it. I keep trying to get him to say it, and he keeps saying bullocks instead of bollocks. Honestly, right, go on the Shunt Posting second birthday video. Al Kindle did a little recording for us where he said, "Happy birthday, you Shunt Posting cunts." No, happy birthday, you cunt posting shunts. Oh, bollocks, my link fell out. But then he actually said, "Oh, bullocks, my link fell out." Oh, that's just reminded me of a video that I took at BattleBots. It was towards the end of filming, and it was at night at the hotel. I was sat outside having drinks with various roboteers, and I don't know who this guy was, but I think he knew Rick from Tombstone. And he was very American, and he was very lively, and he'd had quite a bit to drink, and he was easily influenced by my mischief, shall we say. And I put him up to shouting, "Do it for America, I'm Captain Bollocks." and he obliged, but again he kept saying bullocks. I'm like, nah, it's bollocks.
Bollocks?
See, that's better than Al and Drunk Guy's attempt, honestly. I'm gonna play it for you later. I'll send it to you later. I can't do it right now, but I will. Anyway, Dale has
Yes.
your final question from
Final
the member.
question. Simply asking, when are you going to finish your Beatles?
Ooh.
Lindsay, you should answer this question.
Me?
Yeah, you're the one that's talking about your Beatle names the most lately.
Yeah, well, I like to ponder names. But it'll be done soon. I mean, hey, we have all this time now, right, Chris? We could,
There's a chance that we have to be locked in our house for the next 18 months. So I'll say sometime in the next 18 months.
Fair enough. I have a bonus question for you, which I hope I'm going to get right on the first take. How many E's would a smee e if a smee could smee E's?
Nicely done.
Thank you. It's a serious question. Can I have your answer, please?
40
Serious answer.
Yeah, serious answer.
More.
More. That's a good answer. At least 22.
When we interviewed the captain of SME, it doesn't really matter. It's like meh.
Fair enough. This is true. I did listen to that. I haven't come across Joe Fabiani before, and then I got introduced to SME, and well, it was love at first sight.
Well, SME is wonderful.
Smee is absolutely wonderful. I love Smee. Smee will be a shunt posting robot. The Queen hath declared it, which is a shunt posting icon, right? But there we go. That is the end of the member questions, and I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, it's the end of the Shuntcast.
Aww.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. That was aimed at behind the bot. You're very welcome. It's been a rather amusing crossover episode. We've been completely serious, and nothing went hideously wrong, and we're all alive. That's what matters here.
We're all alive.
So there we go. Well, on that note, it is time to go. So it's goodbye from Dale.
Bye-bye.
It's goodbye from Luke.
Bye-bye.
It's goodbye from Chris.
Bye-bye.
It's bye-bye from Lindsay.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from Kyle.
Bye-bye.
And breathe. It's goodbye from the Queen. Goodbye.
Bye, Queen.
Bye, Queen.